Russia deliberately refused to protect the Bashar al-Assad regime in Syria from the rebels, deceiving Iran as well. Such statements were made by one of the high-ranking generals of the IRGC, Behrouz Esbati, as well as a former advisor to the fugitive Syrian president Kamel Sakr. As reported by the New York Times, Esbati stated that the Kremlin is to blame for the fall of the Assad regime and the failure of Iran's Syrian policy. It is noted that his words do not coincide with the position of official Tehran and Moscow. During a speech in a Tehran mosque, the general spoke of a very serious defeat and shared information about how the Russian military informed the Iranians that they were striking the headquarters of the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham group, whose leaders were leading the rebel offensive on Aleppo and Damascus. In fact, according to Esbati, the Russians were bombing the desert. Thanks to this, it took the opposition forces only a week and a half to take control of Syria and overthrow Assad. In addition, according to the general, the Russian Federation turned off some radars which allowed Israel to attack Iranian military facilities in Syria. At the same time as these confessions, Assad's former advisor told al-Arabiya that Putin had deliberately refused to support Syria. At that time, President Assad had personally asked the Russian dictator and his ally for assistance, to which he had agreed. It was supposed to be delivered by an Iranian plane, but in Tehran, Assad was told that no such request had been received from Moscow. When the Syrian president called Moscow, they simply refused to talk to him. Earlier, Iran and Russia officially stated that they do not see a tragedy in the change of power in Syria. In particular, Putin said that the Russian army, which was present there for 10 years and defended the Assad regime, achieved all its goals. Earlier, it was reported that the Putin regime will face very unpleasant consequences of losing control over Syria. American writer and historian Timothy Snyder is sure. The first consequence is the debunking of the myth that Russia allegedly never loses. Kremlin authorities and propagandists love to repeat this phrase in the context of the protracted war against Ukraine. History in Syria has shown that it is a lie. That is, Moscow's negotiating positions have been undermined. The second consequence is the difficulty of maintaining colonial rule in Africa. It will become much more difficult and much more costly for Russia to maintain influence in this region after losing the logistical hub, the Syrian military bases. The third consequence is the Qatar-Turkish gas pipeline. The project to build it was blocked by Assad, indulging Moscow. Now it can be built, which will put an end to Russia as an energy power.
A powerful winter storm that dumped heavy snow and glazed roads with ice across much of Texas and Oklahoma lumbered eastward into southern U.S. states overnight, prompting governors to declare states of emergency and shuttering schools across the region. The storm dumped as much as 7 inches in some spots in central Oklahoma and northern Texas before pushing into Arkansas. More than 4,500 flights were delayed and another 2,000 canceled on Thursday, with more delays and cancellations expected on Friday. Video from Dallas TV station WFAA shows an airport worker de-icing a plane at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport on Thursday.